Hi everyone and welcome to Teacher Turner's VI History tutorial. The objective of this lesson is to introduce you to the geology and geography of the Virgin Islands. Be sure to pay attention and listen carefully because you will have an activity to complete at the end. Let us begin by defining geology and geography. Geology is the study of the structure of the Earth or another planet, especially its rocks, soil, and minerals, and its history and origins, while geography is the study of all the physical features of the Earth's surface, including its climate and the distribution of plant, animal, and human life. The Virgin Islands was discovered by Christopher Columbus in 1493 on his second voyage. Columbus named the Virgin Islands in honor of Saint Ursula and her 11,000 virgins. All the islands in the Caribbean are known as the West Indies. These islands form an archipelago from the tip of Florida to the top of South America. The West Indies is made up of the Greater and Lesser Antilles. The Lesser Antilles are further divided into the Leeward and Windward Islands. The Virgin Islands are a part of the Lesser and Greater Antilles. Geologically, St. Thomas and St. John, along with the British Virgin Islands, are part of the Greater Antilles, while St. Croix is a part of the Lesser Antilles. Due to their size and location, the Virgin Islands are grouped with the Lesser Antilles. St. Thomas, St. John, along with the British Virgin Islands, were created by volcanic eruptions. The link below is a video explaining the formation of volcanic islands. St. Croix, on the other hand, is mainly of coral origins. This is a map showing the Virgin Islands' position in the Caribbean. As you can see, they are located between the Greater and Lesser Antilles and have a bird's eye view of the entire Caribbean. This strategic location is one of the reasons the United States purchased the United States Virgin Islands. Can you identify countries you have traveled to? Who are your neighbors and what do you know about them? This is a map of the Virgin Islands. As you can see, some islands of the Virgin Islands are owned by the British and some islands are owned by the United States. The dotted lines show the boundaries of the two territories. How many islands are in the United States Virgin Islands? How many islands are in the British Virgin Islands? Do you know the water bodies that wash the shores of the Virgin Islands? This table gives you important information about the major islands of the Virgin Islands. St. Croix, St. Thomas, and St. John are the three main islands of the United States Virgin Islands, while Tortola, Anegada, Virgin Gorda, and Just Van Dyke are the main islands of the British Virgin Islands. The largest island in the British Virgin Islands is Tortola, while the largest island in the United States Virgin Islands is St. Croix. Charlotte Amalie is the capital of the United States Virgin Islands, and Road Town is the capital of the British Virgin Islands. Please copy table and complete information relating to mountains and current population of each island. This information can be easily found with the help of Google. Let's look at climate. The temperature of the islands average 70 to 90 degrees year-round. Although we live in the tropics, we often enjoy cool weather thanks to the northeast trade winds that bring cool air from the northeast to the islands. The Virgin Islands are prone to two major natural disasters: earthquakes and hurricanes. Earthquakes are sudden movements in the earth crust, while a hurricane is a tropical storm whose wind develops a spiral form of rotation and reaches speeds of 74 miles per hour or 119 kilometers per hour. Hurricanes are characterized by high winds and heavy rains and can lead to flooding, landslides, damage to property, and loss of lives. Floras are plants and faunas are animals. In the Virgin Islands, we have indigenous and imported floras and faunas. Indigenous mean they have always existed in the Virgin Islands, while imported means they were brought from elsewhere to the Virgin Islands. Some examples of indigenous floras are cassava, corn, and squash. Some examples of imported floras are orange, breadfruit, and tamarind. Some indigenous faunas are doves, pigeons, and lizards, while some imported faunas are chickens, goats, and cows. Do you know the name of the national bird and flower of the Virgin Islands? If you said the national bird is yellow breast and the national flower is yellow cedar, you are absolutely correct. What other names do they have? Now that you have listened attentively to the tutorial, demonstrate your knowledge by answering the questions below in your copybook. Question number 1. Explain how St. Thomas, St. John, and the rest of the British Virgin Islands were formed. Number 2. Which island was created mainly by corals? 3. Compare and contrast the characteristics of volcanic and coral islands. 4. Geologically, which islands of the Virgin Islands are located in the Greater and Lesser Antilles? 5. In order of largest to smallest, name the 4 major islands of the United States Virgin Islands. Next, complete the chart showing name of each island, main towns, capital, size, mountains, height of mountains, and current population. Next, explain how the Virgin Islands got its name. And you have some new words to define: flora, fauna, archipelago, yellow breast, yellow cedar, indigenous, imported, Greater Antilles, Lesser Antilles, trade winds, hurricane, earthquake, and topography. You have just watched a brief introduction to the geology and geography of the Virgin Islands. I look forward to working with you in class as we learn more about America's paradise. Thanks for watching.